I remember a number of psychedelic trips that were hard to come back from, but I remember one in particular years ago where my friend and I took a lot of acid, and late in the trip, like about 3:30 in the morning, he had a very dramatic epileptic seizure, and I had never seen an epileptic seizure, and oh God, it just set off this cascade of hysterical activity. The 911 people had to be called. I remember there was a real moment of truth in all this for me. I remember the apartment was on the second floor, and I saw the cop cars and everything pull up in front. We had flushed staggering amounts of dope, knowing that they were about to arrive. And I went tearing down to the front door, and I was completely loaded on acid. I mean, I could barely stand. And I could see through the glass, the cop. And he said, "Open the door." We had locked the door earlier in the evening. He said, "Open the door." So I fumbled with the door for a few seconds, completely hysterically and ineffectively, and then I couldn't get the door open. So I stepped back from the door and said, "Shoot the lock off." And then I realized, dude, get a grip. You're going to have to, this is headed in the wrong direction. And the cop was like, so then, and then I remember, this trip to the hospital, and I don't know what was going on. It was Herrick Hospital. It was in Berkeley, which was also a mental hospital. On this bed, me standing at the end of the bed, trying to figure out, is he dead? Is he alive? What does this mean? Who am I? What's going on? And then there was a person who was obviously an inmate of the stranger wards of this mental hospital, who was washing the floor with this big mop and sort of waltzing around us with this crazy expression and leaning over and looking at me and looking at him. And I just didn't know whether, is this really happening? And if it is happening, why is it happening? And if it isn't happening, why do I think this is what's happening? And then finally the doctors threw me out of there, and I just walked the streets of Berkeley for hours, and my mind was like spinning, just saying, something terrible has happened. Something terrible, terrible, terrible has happened. And it took days to realize, yes, he had an epileptic fit. Here's what an epileptic seizure is. Here's the drug. Here's the prognosis. Here he is, seemingly all right. He came through it in much better shape, it seemed, than I did. I mean, I was deeply spun by all of this crazy shit.